Tignes Val, one of the largest ski resorts in the world, boasting 300 kilometers of runs, high-altitude skiing, glacier skiing, lively après, and some of the most consistent snow in Europe. We went for a week in mid-March of 2026 with a group of 17 people, ranging from complete beginners to seasoned air veterans. Here's how it went. We flew from London to Geneva and booked a private car to take us straight to the resort. It was only about £10 more per person than taking a shared coach, and we thought it was completely worth it for that door-to-door service and not having to trudge through the town when we finally arrived. France typically does their ski holidays from Saturday to Saturday, which means traffic is always pretty bad unless you're travelling in the early hours of the morning or late in the evening. We made it to Tignes in about 3 hours. Our apartment was in Tignes Val. It was a lovely big apartment which managed to fit in all 17 of us nice and comfortably. It had lovely views of the mountain and even had 2 saunas. Vicky was on chef duty night number 1. Here she is cooking up a storm. On day 1, some of us woke up early to watch the F1 because we're a bunch of saddos, but after a croissant and a few coffees, we headed out onto the slopes for first lifts. The lower slopes around the lac were pretty icy in the morning, so we beelined up to the higher altitude runs around Val. After blowing off the cobwebs on a few cruisy blues, we hit a few jumps in the park, grabbed a coffee, and then finally remembered we had a GoPro that we could actually film with instead of our phones.
Height.
Nice.
We're just waiting for the snowboarders.
Always. Right, are we ready?
Yeah.
You guys can go first, or I can.
I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going.
Oh. Towards funicular Personnage, towards Val.
This is a blue run going down to Val just before midday. Considering the sun was out, the snow was great, and we were pretty close to the village, I'm surprised it wasn't more busy.
How'd you find that?
Oh, good. Well, some fun.
Nice.
No.
Yeah, better than expected.
Yeah, definitely. Gang's all here.
So the funicular is in that building.
One cool thing for the train nerds out there is that Tignes has a vernacular railway going all the way up to the foot of the Grand Mont Glacier. It's completely underground and takes about 10 minutes to cover 3.5 kilometers. It runs every 15 minutes or so if you just miss a train or if there's a massive queue, you can also take 2 chairlifts which get you to the exact same place.
Get a train.
This red run down from the top is great. It's called Dahou, I don't know. It's definitely on the easier side of the red slope. It starts off with these fun windy bits and then opens up to a large, lovely, wide open run, which always seems to have really good snow and awesome views. It also has some fun little off-piste bits as well if you're feeling a bit fruity. We did this run loads on the trip and it honestly never got boring. We lapped this run quite a bit using the Vanois chairlift, which spits you back at the top again so you can just continue to lap it. There were also some lovely cruisy blues going down from Grand Mont to Val.
Hello. My legs are starting to burn.
I'll go to the back for any snowboarders. Can you do the ballet set?
The what? Oh.
They're really wide and fairly long, so it always feels fairly quiet on these runs. We took the Genepi run down. It does narrow and flatten slightly, so just make sure you carry enough speed to avoid a hike at the end.
Keep going.
We ended up in Val and headed up a tough chairlift to join the rest of the crew for lunch at the top of Tovier.
What a nice day.
Belly's full. After lunch, we headed back to Grand Mont, this time taking the gondola all the way to the top.
Bye.
This is probably my favourite run in Tignes. It's a red run called Glacier. It's steep and wide enough at the start so you can really feel comfortable picking up some speed. There's also an unpisted black next to the red if you really want to get those fires burning.
Oh, watch out, sorry. Too much speed.
That was really nice snow. Time's just on the red and calm. Oh, nice.
I am breathless.
Those moguls weren't actually that bad. They were more like little kickers.
So I was watching Charlie go down. It looks like...
Yeah.
They look worse than they were.
It was actually snow. It's like proper
Nice.
snow, isn't it? It'll chase you. Oh.
Chase me.
I can get my ass on the floor. It's happening.
The red then mellows out and becomes really nice and windy with some incredible views on the way down.
Whoa! You are moving. You're going quick then. Woo!
Woo!
I love that run. It's just so nice and wide and open.
That was a calf burner, eh? I don't think I really want to do really long runs at the moment. My legs might give up.
Okay, well, we'll have to finish with that.
Ah.
It joins up to meet the Vanois chairlift again, so we lapped Grand Mott a few times before cruising down to Val Claret for a spot of après. Down we go over Dehou Red again. Grand Mott is over 3,000 metres, so the snow was still incredible, even late in the afternoon in March.
Second fall. I'm too tired.
Yeah. Ready?
Okay, thank you. It's harder when it's like flattish.
Yeah, there's no angle to it. Alright, onwards.
It was clearly time for a drink after a hard day of skiing, so we took a red called Double M down to Val Claret. It's a nice, consistent steep run, great practice to get some turns on. Don't really remember what's going on here. It does get quite busy and does feel fairly unrelenting after a full day of skiing, but there's Coco Ricos at the bottom, so we had that spurring us on. After a couple of drinks and a roast in the sauna, we called it a day and went to bed. Day 2 started off bright and early for some of the group who went out in search of a boulangerie, but ended up in a Sherpa and discovered a very French fridge full of wine, beer and cheese, so just the essentials. We spent most of the morning lapping between the lower village of Tignes 1800 and the Lac. It was really nice and quiet, and we even managed to get some fresh corduroy even though we didn't make the first laps. Of course, no trip to Tignes would be complete without seeing the iconic Candate Fovex rock, so here it is. We made our way down the little park section of the Gratelau chairlift, which was really good fun. Red Bull, please contact me.
Woo!
Just!
Oh no, I want it.
Woohoo!
No! Oh, nice!
How's the second morning been?
Good so far. Done some blue, some red, some snow park. Now we're heading to lunch. Woohoo!
Lunch was at a place called Le Place in the Lac, which was really good. It's right next to the Peace, in the sun. This is Vic having a croziflet. I'm assured that it tasted much better than it looked. We split off in the afternoon. I stayed in the Lac with some beginner friends, while Vicky and Ross went to explore the greens around the Borsat chairlift. These are super cruisy greens which are great for a post-lunch ski. They swung by Folly for a drink on the way back before heading home for a sauna and dinner. Day 3 started with some fairly tricky visibility. The light was pretty flat, so we couldn't really see all the lumps and bumps coming our way. But that didn't stop us trying to get to the furthest point away from Le Lac, which is Point du Montet. From Tignes, you need to get down the Val d'Isère Valley to get across to Montet. We warmed up with some blues and some greens, nice and calm, nice and cruisy.
He's the man, the warrior.
There's only red or black runs going down to Val d'Isère, or you can take the gondola down if you don't fancy that. We took the red run called Santos. It can get pretty mogly early on in the day, especially when it's warm. Luckily, that wasn't the case when we went down. The run ends by going through some really nice fancy chalets in Val d'Isère, which is great if you're nosy like us. But snowboarders, make sure you try and keep your speed up before you get to the chalets, otherwise you'll be going for a hike the rest of the way. Or you can do what I did and just make sure you've got some ski friends to drag you along.
Smile gang. Hello.
We didn't film the Santons Red as it's narrow, busy, and the locals were absolutely hooning down it, but just take our word from it, it's a good fun run.
That's the yellow snow you want to eat?
Of course, we had to check out the Lezère chairlift, which has the up and over you've probably seen all over your Instagram reels. It's more dramatic on a sunny day, but you can definitely still feel it in your stomach when you go over the peak. After a surprisingly intimate T-bar lift, we got to the furthest point from Tignes. It had been lightly snowing for most of the day, so there's a lovely fresh layer of pow. It was early afternoon by this point, so we started to make our way back from Tignes to meet the crew for a spot of après. The sky was starting to brighten up, so we kept our fingers crossed for some sunny après. Oop, me almost crashing into Vic. So, bit of a tangent, but the ski map isn't super clear on how to ski down to Folly. There's also pretty much no signs pointing out on the way down. So, to ski from either Val d'Isère or Tignes, aim for the top of the Dalet gondola, past Marmont's chairlift, and to get back to Tignes, take the Tomu's chairlift. Just make sure you watch out for the lift closure times or it's going to be a taxi back. And the sun came up for après. Lovely. For dinner, Urs directed a small army of stirrers to make a delicious risotto.
Give us a boogie, guys.
On day 4, we kicked off the morning with our favourite Grand Mot loop.
Oh my god.
Here we have Skinny, just loving life on that ungroomed black.
That was pretty nice. That was really good.
That's Charlie giving it the beans.
Woo! Pose for the camera. Gang sign for the camera. Ah, my knee. Woo!
I'll follow my coach. Follow.
In the middle. Smiley, 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 smiley. I know, I got you. You gotta kiss the camera when I push you. Push. Oh yeah. And again.
Thank you, Skinny.
I can be your 11 euro Stella. Incoming.
There's Cal doing his thing on the double M red. We were on our way down to grab some much-deserved coffee in Val Claret and do a spot of map reading as well, apparently. We then went to go find our beginner friend Sam to have a look at his progress. Look at him go, only 4 days in. Pretty good. The plan was to meet the crew in Folly, so we went for a few more laps before après. The folks who didn't fancy the ski down to Folly took a taxi to Ladai and then took the gondola up to Folly. The taxi apparently didn't cost too much, especially split between the group, so that's a good option if you're not too comfortable on skis or if you've just got jelly legs.
Nice.
Despite the sun and the relative warm, the snow was still really good in the afternoon. Skiing in March is definitely the way to go in France. You get the longer days, you get the quieter pistes. What's not to love? That's Charlie giving it the beans, and Vicky hot on his heels with the GoPro.
Forgot they have to do their bindings.
Oh my god, it's so long, isn't it?
I know, every time.
Lovely to get some video evidence of them forgetting about the snowboarders. Cheers, guys. I've mentioned Folly a couple of times without giving any context. For those that don't know, La Folie Douce is a chain of open-air après clubs in some French ski resorts. Think dancing on tables, sunny deck with a €15 pint in hand. Vicky's been to a few follies in her time, and she reckons the one at Tignes is her favourite. Anyway, we eventually met up with the rest of the crew for a bit of a boogie. Our GoPro was stolen by a lady in some kind of fancy dress, but she got some good footage, so I guess all is forgiven.
put her arm down and touch
It
her
was
ankle.
definitely a bit of a vibe shift when we got back to the apartment. Skinny led a tipsy stretch session to make sure our bodies weren't too broken for the next day. Here is some not very flattering angles from the 360 cam.
And go into a downward dog.
And for dinner, we tucked into some really nice fajitas made by Sean and Paige, who arrived earlier in that day. Despite there being literally no snow forecast overnight, on day 5 we awoke to a sight more beautiful than any other: fresh snow.
Oh, that was so cold.
The best boulangerie in Tignes-Val. Snow day.
Howdy.
This is a lot of pow. You're off. Whoa.
I obviously forgot how to ride POW, but back on my feet to try and get the first lifts. We heard from someone on the chairlift that Grand Mott was above the clouds, so we made a beeline there, and the intel was right. Bluebird POW Day, what more could you ask for? And it's mid-March. Mad. The gondola to the top of Grand Mott was delayed, so we just lapped the Van Wild chairlift a couple of times. You can see the clouds down in the valley, so it was definitely the right move to come up here. There was still so much fresh POW and enough for everybody. This was about an hour after the first chairlifts.
Yeah, it's bumpy, isn't it? So good. Oh,
Up again.
up again. That's unreal. Oh, can you hold this? Cheers.
Okay, here you go.
Not sure what happened there.
Are you falling off? Oh, I hope I got that.
Finally, the gondola opened up and we made it to the top.
It's a POW day. Oh my god.
Oh, snow.
There was so much snow. Clearly, I was not used to these conditions. Had to sit down for a moment, catch my breath.
Oh my god. Unreal. So tired.
Oh my god.
That's so good. So we go to the left.
Yeah, kind of like left went up, blue guy.
Cool.
Look at this guy.
Oh my god.
Not work at all.
Yeah, Charlie.
Here I saw Skinny just asking for a spray.
That's so much fun. Woohoo! Holy shit! Woohoo!
Back to some calmer pistes, but clearly had forgotten how to snowboard everywhere, and honestly I thought I'd just broken my rib with that fall. That was not too fun. I took the afternoon off to rest my poor broken body, but obviously had to try this little jump first. Vic skied with Sam, taking him down some pretty nasty moguls, but considering it's just day 5, he took him like an absolute champ. In the evening, we walked across the lake from Le Lac to Val Claret to check out Cocorico's. One thing about Le Lac is there doesn't seem to be much in the way of slopeside après spots. Most of the places in Le Lac were kind of sit-down restaurants, serve drinks, food, that kind of thing, rather than the get-up and boogie kind of places that you expect on other resorts. Cocorico's, however, lived up to the hype, albeit the bar queues were really long, so we ended up buying a few drinks at once. And for dinner, we went to a place called Alberto's, which was really good. Day 6 was the final day of the ski trip, and we decided to head over to Val d'Isère again to see what's going on over there. Looks very different in the sun. We didn't film it, but we took the black down from Tignes to Val d'Isère, the Face de Bellevarde. It was super icy, pretty steep, and honestly not the most pleasant, but I'll definitely give it another go after some fresh snow.
Oh my god.
We took the up and over chairlift again, with the sun out this time. Lovely. Skinny and Sean took the 3000 button lift. The map said it was ungroomed. It was a proper off-piste hikey situation, with some pretty precarious traversing and apparently a tunnel.
Who's a tunnel? Ooh, what's at the other end?
This was the Pointe du Montet area. The sun was out, and it was probably most people's last day, so it was pretty busy, and it was the only time we had to wait more than a couple of minutes for a chairlift. We had lunch at this place at the bottom of the Cascade chairlift. Despite its pretty remote location, it had some of the cheapest prices we saw all trip. In the afternoon, we met up with some of the crew at the top of the Tovier chairlift. The plan was to do a couple of party laps before heading to Après, but Vicky had other ideas and took us on a massive odyssey around Val Claret and Le Lac. That's Hayley. She picked up snowboarding this trip, so it was great to see her get some turns in. Oop, and had a fall too. This was probably the busiest slope we saw all week, but it was also one of the main blues going down to Val Claret, so probably makes sense.
Keep going left. Straight on.
And there's Skinny getting spinny, and Sean also getting spinny. And there goes Ross.
Are you okay?
Yeah, obvious.
On my ass, I fell on my ass.
On who?
You saw it earlier.
It's just me behind you, don't worry. Smile! Yee. Oh, fuck, you hold that. I was watching Sam, not me.
Incoming.
So we're going to
Grand Wheat, which is the left-hand side chairlift where you see the street chairlift.
Oh, triple whammy, I'm getting all of us. Suddenly Sean skis properly.
Oh no! You're gonna solve me!
On your right.
Back near the Candate Fovex rock, and you can see the piste we're getting pretty mogully by this point.
Can't really see. Oh fuck. Take it back, it wasn't good.
Is it worth it or not?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good.
Gang's all here, so away we go. After about an hour and a half of a few quick laps before après, we were finally within touching distance to the pints. A few pints later, we headed back to the apartment. From the Almes and Piticool Blue runs, you could ski directly into our apartment, which was such a nice luxury, otherwise you'd need to hike up a hill, which is never fun.
If I'm being honest, take him off there.
It was Vicky's birthday shortly after the trip, so we whacked out the party hats and headed to La Place for happy hour. The Place was pretty empty. For some reason we're the only people there, and there's only one table outside, but it was still a good time, so we stuck around there till dinner time. The apartment had a couple of raclette machines, so we made the most of them by eating just an unholy amount of cheese, and had a really nice evening on our final night in Le Lac. So, was Tignes any good? Yeah, definitely. It had pretty much everything you could want from a ski resort. Great snow across a wide variety of runs, and a really snowshore location. There's also a few beginner-focused chairlifts that are completely free, which is great because it means you don't need to buy a full pass for your first day or two if you're an absolute beginner. Le Lac had a good variety of supermarkets, bakeries and coffee shops, as well as a pretty good market on Thursdays and Sundays, which is great for picking up some foodie bits or souvenirs. The après was pretty good, but we did have to travel to Folly or Val Claret for it, as Le Lac seemed to be missing any kind of vibey, slope-sidey spots that other towns seem to have. The space allocated to beginners is pretty limited, but other than that, we'd recommend Tignes to anyone who's in search of big mountain skiing in the wonderful French Alps. Thanks for watching.